jumped into a trade. It's already been in a trend. It's been trending for a minute. We've jumped into it on a half signal. We've got a half signal here, and we've jumped in. I think it was about 2.8 spread. With the half signals, you can get a bit on them. You can get a bit on it. It's almost like trying to just ride the trend. You're trying to find a way into the trend. A lot of people will find a dip in the momentum and then go in. Like, for example, here, this area here would have been an ideal opportunity for others. They would have seen a dip in the trend, and then they would have joined in and then followed it up. That's what many people do. But this was out of hours for us, so I wouldn't have done that. And that is not my strategy either. That's other people's strategy. I've seen it many times. They say wait for the dip and then go in. But I'm a momentum trader. So if I see a momentum gathering on a candle, which is these dark blue candles, they represent momentum. So if it's got a bit of momentum, that's when I get in, even though it seems like a bit more costly to get in, because it seems like the price has gone up. If we're buying, it's gone up. Whereas people wait for the dip and then they go in for the dip and then they anticipate it to go back up. It's a fair way of trading, but that's just not the way I do it. I wait for a momentum and then join that wave. So we're in this trade at the moment. We're still in a negative position, but let's see how it goes. Most of the time, I wait for a change in a trend. I like to get the trend at the early stages of it, not at the end or in the middle. I don't really like doing it that way, but this time I thought, let's just see if one of these mini signals is gonna work. Really and truly, we should have got this mini signal here, because this is at the open of the London Stock Exchange. We could have taken this mini signal and then at least rode it up a little bit to here, 24 points, and come out. But I wasn't around at that time, so I'm doing it like this. So looking at this this chart, it's the US oil chart. We can see it's been going up for quite a minute. If you look at it on the hourly, let's have a look. Hourly, I don't know if you can see. It's a bit messy. It looks a bit messy. Let's find a different. Let's clear it up a bit. Right, if you can see, it has been going down for quite a while. There's a downward trend for a while. So look at it on the daily, it's a bit more clearer. Down here, you can see it's been going down for quite a minute. Look, from here, it's the beginning of the year, it's been just going down, right? It seems to have hit a bottom, and now it's going up. So right now, we're on this upward trend here. This is 3 days of upward trending. So we're on this upward trend at the moment, which could turn at any time. Because if we're looking at this as just as we've seen the rest of it, it's going up and down. This lot just goes up and down like a seesaw. That's what's been happening here. Look, that goes down, down, up, down, up, down. It's not really a trend. It's the kind of is and there isn't. Look, it just goes. It's doing what it wants to do. There's no real trend forming, except for this last 15 days or whatever. It went quite down significantly, and now it's trying to recover all of that, losses it's made. So if it's doing that, it could stay here, it could stop here and then come back down, or it could keep going up, break this one here, break this high, and keep going up. We don't know. I don't really like to speculate like that. I like to have a rough idea, but I don't like speculating, because that kind of puts you in a box. And then once you start speculating and believing what you have speculated, if the market does something different, you still believe what you speculated. So you do not mold to the market. You are hell bent on making what you said true. And that's why I don't like doing it. Because when I trade, I'm a humble trader. If I'm wrong, I would say I'm wrong and then I would move. The amount of times I've been in a selling position and the market has indicated that it's not going to sell, it's buying, I will close that position and I will buy. I've done that plenty of times and it works out. Sometimes you would be in a selling position again and you could see the market looks like it's going to be a buyer's market, or you get a strong indication that it's a buyer's market, but you stay in your selling position because you have already predicted that it's going to be a seller's market, and that can cost you a lot of money. So for example, if now I get into this, I'm in this position now and it dips and gives me a sell option, I'm going to come out of this trade and I'm going to sell. I'm not going to say, no, I'm right. Let's stay in the trade. Let's stay in. I don't care what anyone says. That's not how you trade. You've got to understand that. If the market says go left, you go left. If it says go right, you go right. That's how it works. If you do it any other way, you lose. And that's why so many people lose, because egos are in the way. Egos are in the way. You're right. You're right. It's got to be right. It's got to be right. I've done all the research, blah, blah, blah. No, it doesn't work like that. It could have been right 10 minutes ago, but now it's not. So you have to humble yourself and go with the flow. Like, this trade might be wrong. It might be it just might not work. It doesn't mean that it doesn't mean your strategy is wrong. It just means at this time, your strategy did not work. And like I said, with half signals, this is literally a half signal. The clue's in the name. It's not a full signal. It is a possibility that it would go to my favor. And I'm all right with that on this trade. It's trending up and we might be able to join the trend, because that's one thing that a lot of people find it difficult to do, is to join a trend. Some people just jump in as and when, but it's difficult to join a trend. If you can get in on a trend, you're laughing. But sometimes it looks easy, but you have to find the correct entry point. And it's not easy to find the correct entry point. So I'm glad that we've on this one, as far as I can see, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 entry points on this. There's 7 entry points since 5:30 a.m. We could have entered this 7 times. So I'm happy for that, but I do believe that we might be at the end of this. Could be not, I don't know. But let's see. Let's wait and see. Right. Now we're in a positive position. Let's have a look. 12 points. That's really all we need. That's all really what we need. That's enough for us. I know you can see the stop loss all the way down here, but that's just a safety stop loss. A mental stop loss for me was underneath this blue candle here, about here, which equates to about, the candle itself is about 12 points. So I usually do maybe one candle, 1-to-1 basically on the size of the candle. But it seems to be strong at the moment, so I'm just going to monitor it. And to be quite honest, you know what we can do? We can look for an exit strategy right now. So if we're going to keep it on, let's have a look. You go to your trends, look for a moving average, put in 9, exponential, apply to close. Once price closes, let's expand this so you can see. Once price closes below this 9, then we can come out. You don't need to go any further than that. We can do it that way. That's an exit strategy. Or like I said, a 1-to-1 on this candle, which is only 10 points. We've gone up. We've made what we need to go, including the spread. Yeah, including the spread, because the spread was about 3 points. But as you can see, look at that. The spread's 3 points. So how did we get in that 6 points? You see the problem? The spread is very trickish. It does nick a lot of points. So at this stage here, we can wait for it, or we can just take what we want to take. As far as I'm concerned, that's fine for me. So I'm coming out of this trade. I'm not leaving anything in it. I just come out. That's enough for us. That's enough for me. I know people are like, oh, there's so much more on the table. I know there is. It's possible, but you have to kind of not be greedy in this game. You've got to kind of pay homage, leave some on the table, come out early, just be humble with it, because it's going to be a time where you believe that there's more on the table and there's not. So these are the tricks that you have to kind of learn. It's not about taking everything on the table. Just take some, and then you can fight another day. And you just accumulate and accumulate. You keep accumulating and building your portfolio, building your account. That's the way forward. So if we want, we can see what would have happened if we waited for the 9 moving average for it to close under it. As you can see, look at the way it's been going all the way through. Let's have a look. All the way through is kind of, look, it went under here, and then it came back up, it popped up, and then it stayed above it, went down. So you could have stayed on in this trade here, from here to here, and then maybe if you want, we got another signal here, we could have stayed in and stopped here. That's another 22 points. So there's plenty of ways to do it. So we'll keep an eye on this anyway, but we've made what we need to make, and that's it. We don't need to be there for too long. But some people like it. Some people do it other ways. But this is a stress-free way of trading. Just to prove my point, you can see now that if we didn't come out where we were, we came out around here, got 12, 13 points or what, just a few points. If we didn't do that, we'd be back to square one right now. Look, this is the market. This is how it works. Now, where it is, it has the propensity to go right back up, or it can come down. We do not know. But there's nothing to realize right now. We would have been in a negative position right now. So after waiting all those hours, we would be in a negative position. Doesn't make sense. So I'd rather take what's on the table at the moment and then wait for a next trading opportunity and do it that way. Until next time.